want to talk about the Bili Ape, Bili Ape, and there were reports around 2007 or so that they were a lion killer. I think they said they got close to 6'6" tall, 6.5 feet tall, which would be as tall as a basketball player, which is pretty tall. And then they said they kind of were halfway between gorillas and chimpanzees, but they look more like chimpanzees, and they had a sagittal crest, and then you stopped hearing about them. And then you hear, oh, they kind of like, well, they're actually turned out to be regular pan-troglodyte common chimpanzees. And that was it. I mean, okay, well, what about the fact that they said they were lion killers and they nested similarly to gorillas by having nests on the ground, and it all turned out to be nothing? It seemed to me at the time they couldn't do any extensive research on them because it was in a war zone where the chimpanzees were native to, which would be in the Bili Forest in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. They show a photo on Wikipedia of a Bili Ape, a juvenile Bili Ape, and they look like a regular chimpanzee. But that's a young one. You don't see what they look like when they're older. But was it a story about nothing? And I guess are primatologists not that interested in them, or is it a hard area to get to? Or what became of that? People only know generally what they read because most of the general public, including myself, is not traveling to forests in Africa to track down the ape. It's just based on what people have read. But it seems like that was a whole lot of nothing. And it kind of reminds me of another story of these lions that they were newly discovered in Madagascar that were super lions. That was the headline. They were more muscular than regular lions, like twice the size or somewhat bigger. And then you didn't hear about them. And I mean, I really was researching that the other day and trying to find information on the super lions. That's what they had reports that they called them super lions from Madagascar, and they were newly discovered. They didn't know they were there. And then you don't hear about it. And it was in the regular news. It wasn't on cryptozoology sites. It was on regular news sites. And then you don't hear about it anymore. So are the reports erroneous? Are they false? Are they not that interesting? Is it? I mean, to me, some of this stuff should make regular news. It's not necessarily should supplant regular news, but some of these are as interesting or as newsworthy as some of the nonsense stories. They have this congressman supports Justin Bieber's behavior or whatever. Something's in the news recently, but or not congressman, a Canadian mayor or whatever the heck. I don't even know what he was. But it's just, who cares? It's just nonsense. Well, why not report more on one of these stories?